Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Air Hauler with me, Herd37. So we're sticking with this 787 over here. I got someone to fly it for me over to Montreal, one of our bases. We also have really good scenery for that. And in this flight, we got another pretty long one, 2,200 miles, almost 2,300 actually, down to Panama City, MPTO. There you see. So we'll go ahead and get this one going. I've got a bunch of jobs scheduled for people. I'm trying to make a bunch of money. Most of them, unfortunately, I have to, they're a little bit over capacity, so I got to load them and unload them manually. I guess that kind of helps with the rating that we can look at, but, I don't know, kind of annoying because I got to remember to start this thing up and get them unloaded. I don't know why. All right, those aren't, there for a second, that's the same color it says, you know, when they're expired. So I was like, wait a second, don't tell me those are all expired. No, they're just all of the planes flying. All right, so 787 right here. It really freaked me out for a second because I was just talking about I don't want them to be expired. So I got about 2,400 miles worth of fuel. That should be good enough. Should be being the key word. It is fragile cargo, so be careful with that. I'm going to move this down about 9. Let's do about 9 o'clock right there. And with that, let's go ahead and move on over to the plane. All right, everybody, here we are in the plane. Got her started up. Let's look outside real quick. Montreal Airport. I believe that's going to be our runway right there. I'd actually planned for 24 left, but I believe we're going to take off on 24, right? If that is, in fact, that looks kind of short to be our runway, to be quite honest. I don't know, but that must be it. But, so I guess 24 left. Or no, that would be 24 left. No, 24 is going this way. So this would be 24 right, so I might just have to switch that. That's fine. I didn't know which side of the airport we were going to end up on. But I'm actually surprised as well, like, you know, it's a pretty good frame rate. I usually have a hell of a problem, especially when flying into Montreal. But you can see it there, it's actually pretty good. I was actually really surprised by that. Alright, so it looks like those center tanks will have fuel, so we'll go ahead and turn those off. That should clear those airs, and it did. So let's go ahead and come down here and program this thing. And we're in Montreal, CYUL. And let's go over here. Let's go find our where we can load up our flight plan. I had to make this by hand. I was route finder, man. It just would not work today. It kept saying too many requests on the server at once. Too many requests. After about 15 times that, I was like, screw this, I'm just going to make it by hand. No C's, no stars. And that's alright. That fuel looks pretty good. 70,000 pounds. That's right where we want it. Reserves will say 3. And cruising altitude, we're headed to the south. We're actually pretty heavy, over 100,000 pounds. Fuel, we're kind of light. Not light, but not a whole lot. But we are 40,000 over on the weight, I think. Something like that. Maybe it's not 60,000. Maybe it's just a little bit over. So let's see if we can do 38,000 feet. And let's say a cost index of 75. Actually, let's go to departures and arrivals real quick. Like I said, C25 is going to be going over... Let's see... I'm going to say 24 right. I'm going to have to find this runway. Because now I'm a bit confused even more. Because there's 2 parallel runways on the other side of the airport, and then there's a diagonal, which is smaller. And that one, look right there, it looks small to me. But anyhow, we're going to land on 3 right. Like I said, we're not going to do a sit or a star. So, alright, we won't do a derated takeoff. Flaps, let's say 15 on the flaps. And I'm just going to click 1. Let's see, center of gravity is as well. 7. So that's a lot of flaps, or a lot of trim. 154 is the V2. I like to get that in so I don't forget it. And I'll move that to 7. I'll probably just take my time doing it. Do some other things as well. Flight director on. Flight director on. Let's come down here real quick. Let's find our approach speed around 143. See, that seems so generic. It always says that. That's what I think we're coming in too fast on a lot of these. Or that's one reason we're floating on down the runway. Because it's always like the same speed, and it just should not be. Alright, next page. Let's just check for discontinuities real quick. There's one. I don't know why there would be discontinuities, unless that is after the landing, because like I said, I made this by hand. 3 right there. 140. I'll leave it there. And 170, so I'll leave that there. That's got to be changed. I'll say give it 190. And obviously 2 miles before that, we can't do that. Let's make that around 200. If I can get that space in there we go. And I'll leave that at 240. So I'm alright with that. Let's step through this if I can get to that button from here. Actually, that's right. We can just click on that. I forgot. Move the range down a little bit. Alright, so this is the approach. So let's step into the beginning. There we go. Like I said, I made this one by hand. I want to make sure that everything is good on the approach, because I had to make that by hand as well. And then you can see we come over and in. That looks good. So I'm happy with that. I think we've got our speeds all set. It doesn't flip it over to the first page, huh? Alright. So 24 right or left, whichever one is going to be, is 238 degrees. Yeah, see how it's diagonal? So that is not our runway over there. Move our range back. See, we're over towards the top of it. So I'm going to have to go find it. Let's move this up to 38,000. There we go. We'll go ahead and flip that taxi light on. Now, from the looks of it, I wish I could pop that screen out. You see, though, the runway is back over here. I can't tell if we're to the left or right of it. Looks like it is kind of back behind us. I'm going to hide this yoke and go ahead and turn TCAS on. That looks like that clears everything up. So like I say, that looks, maybe that's the end of it, because I was looking, I don't think that's it. I honestly have no idea where it is. It's very weird, because I thought that could be it, but I think that's actually it. It looks like it ends up as a taxiway, but see, that could be it, right over there. So I kind of want to taxi down this way, maybe? I don't know. I'm really lost. Parking brake is off. I'm going to go ahead and arm LNAV and VNAV. Go ahead and put the flaps out to 15. Hopefully we'll start moving here. Trying to set my trim as well to 7. So we actually started in the heavy spot. There you can see it is getting jagged. I installed it though. There's 7 on the trim. There you can see here's the end, and it is going to be to our left. So when I installed this thing, Montreal, I took a couple options out. I didn't do like the mist effect and the wet runway effect or something like that. I kept that stuff off. That probably helps, I'm sure. Because I used to install it with, just with everything, and it just would run horribly. We would, it would, OOM or whatever, almost every single time. Even taking off out of here. I remember flying the 777 out of here, and even then, man, it just, the performance was horrible. It's been a really hard one to run. It's not even by FS Dream Teams. Fly Tampa does this. And of course, they always do good work. Go find that runway. It's definitely off to the left of us. I just can't tell if it's in front of us or behind us. That figures. When I started up just to check the airport, it was perfect. Our positioning was perfect, but FSX and air hauler, I don't update the scenery, so it doesn't have the runways put in. It just goes to the standard ones. So here's 10 and 28. Looks like it's off to the left of us now. I can't tell. A flight plan has not yet been loaded. Well, that's because I started Active Sky after Air Hauler did this. You can get off my screen now. So that Opus would just find it like that. I don't know why this thing can't do it. So now it looks like it's off to the right. So we'll taxi on down. I don't see anyone coming. I wish I could just see the runway down here. You see the frame rate when we're looking away from everything. Quite variable, actually. And we get the jitters every once in a while. So I'm guessing it looks like we've got some runway signage right here. Oh my god. Yeah, that was a bad landing. That was freaking terrible. It looked like me on some of them. Not in the 787 though. We float a long way. So that's the runway. We found the runway. So it looks like we'll try and taxi right there. He's gonna turn right there. And because I'm going so slow, I'll never get there. We gotta try and beat him. We're going so slow. Usually we're taxiing really quick, especially in this plane. Search area. It's kind of weird that they came in from that direction. That would actually be really helpful if we took off in that going that way, because the end of the runway's right over here. But I've got it set up like they wanted it. Yeah, see, we gotta turn right there. Come on, guy, let us turn. He don't see me. Actually, they do kind of see you, but you know they don't give you enough room. WestJet. Yep, 24 right. So I had set it up for 24 left. I expected to be on the other side of the airport. I didn't expect it. That's just the way I set it up. What runway I was planning. So now I gotta go all the way down here. Trying to give her a little throttle here, man. We're taxiing really slow, especially for us. Alright, so brakes are in RTO. Auto throttle is now armed. Okay, we're all pretty much all set up for when we get down there. Happy to be flying this weekend. We were actually, I was supposed to be a concealed carry class. I got mine last year. They were like, they're going to have a concealed carry class, might as well come down and hang out and shoot and everything, but it got canceled. Spent yesterday, we finally got a chair, not for the computer or anything. Got a lazy boy, got her sweet deal on it. And I won't be up, well, I'll do some simming next week. I gotta go out and finish clearing out a freaking storage unit that I've had for 11 years now. It's time to close that out and save me about $100 a month. But hopefully I will be able to fly some more next week. I need to get FS Economy going again. Tucker's been flying like crazy, and here I am, the leader of the group, and I haven't hardly done anything for a little while in FS Economy. I really need to get back into it. I do some little flights here and there. What I want to do is do FS Economy and X-Plane as well. But to do an X-Plane, I need to set up my cameras, and I've been meaning to do some videos on setting up the X camera. And I was supposed to do that like a year ago. I was trying to do that a year ago, and I got so much going on and stuff, I've never gotten around to it. And it's kind of weird doing videos other than just flying. I get kind of weirded out. I'm not just flying, you know, trying to do like tutorials and stuff like that. I don't know why, but I always do. So, but I'll eventually get it done a year after I wanted to do it. So the windsock is blowing with it, so we are, well, I mean barely. So we are in the right direction.
Flight attendants, please be seated for departure.
Yep, we're about to get on out of here. Well, I'm actually surprised how well this is actually running. I mean, we get the stutters every once in a while, but other than that, it's actually been pretty good. No memory errors or anything. Alright, hook a left over here, and we're about on the runway, about to get the heck on out of here. Finally. It didn't go out far enough. Alright, here we be. I'm gonna move that. So let's see if anyone's coming in, because we've already seen one guy come in. I don't see anybody. And I haven't seen anyone on the TCAS either. Is there actually a warning? No. Landing lights coming on. The strobes are on. Let's get on the runway. We'll do, I guess, a running takeoff. Rolling takeoff, I should say. Because we are all set up. Don't get her too fast here. It takes a lot of throttle today to get this thing going because we're so heavy. Then I obviously don't want to get her going too fast. All right, we'll start bringing up the power. I'll reset my view. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and get on out of here.
Check thrust. Thrust set. 80 knots. Checked.
Getting off track here. Jitters, I see lights flashing and stuff.
Rotate. V2. Positive rate.
Gear up.
Gear up. See, it wants me to fly left. I really don't like doing this. So we just gotta go left. You know, you should be flying straight out the runway, but then the flight plan wants you to go like that. I should have done that a little bit better, I guess. Autopilot on.
Autopilot in command.
Cause see, now we're at the runway. It's just kind of ridiculous. By the way, that looks freaking spectacular, if I do say so myself. I don't know why. I guess that's why. Why that thing was in the hand cursor. They haven't said anything about flaps, so I'm just kind of leaving them out. Man, that water looks even really good.
Flaps 5.
Flaps going, well, there's flaps 10. There's flaps 5. Well, that's why. It was with the other runway. That's why I did that. Because I did put a waypoint in there, as you can see.
Flaps 1.
That's why. That was actually my fault. I forgot we were on a different runway, so that's why it wanted to fly over 24 left. I'm going to go ahead and retract the flaps all the way. I gotta say, that looks good. That's not even Fly Tampa, I don't believe. I believe that's Orbx. There's good old Montreal. Yeah, so that's the area of Montreal. This is the rest of it's all Orbx. It just looks really good.
After takeoff checklist.
I didn't realize that was right on the water like that. Let's go down here and check on the progress. I want to see what our fuel looks like. 17.1, give or take. It always changes, man. Sometimes there's too much, way too much. Sometimes there's not enough. I really don't like that. I'm gonna go ahead and flip off this taxi light. See, the weather looks pretty good, man. I like it better than Opus. I don't see the weird stuff with the clouds. Well, there's some, so maybe it's not that much better than Opus, but I think it works really well, and it looks pretty good. Although I think those are Rex textures. I'm hoping they are. So it's here that Rex's textures with the clouds are better than Active Sky. Of course, I'm new to Active Sky, so I don't know too much about it. About 9,000 feet. Breaking through the clouds. That looks really pretty. Up on 10,000. Landing lights off. Go ahead and speed up as well. Got one weird looking cloud. Everything else is really nice. Does that darken up? It does actually darken it pretty well.
Ladies and gentlemen, the use of approved portable electronic devices is now permitted.
Let's go back down to the progress and see the time. So it's 13:19 and it expects us about 17:54. So 4.5 hours, give or take. Rather long flight down to Panama. It looks like really pretty out there today, I gotta say. Now that we're out of Montreal, it's gonna act a lot better. Now, though, I gotta say, not only did it actually work fairly well, but I turned the scenery complexity, maxed it out to extremely dense, and did auto-gen to very dense, only one notch clear from the right. And I'm really surprised with that frame rate. Because like I say, Montreal has always been one of the hardest add-on sceneries for me to run. So I'm actually really surprised. It actually worked out really, really well. Alright, but this is going to take quite a while, so I'm going to go ahead and start speeding her up, and I will be back in a little bit.
We're on line. We're on line. Line. We're on line. Descend. Descend. We're on line.
check your seatbelt securely fasten. To prepare for landing, it will be necessary to unbuckle some silence, as well as any other items you wish to discard, such as newspapers.
FSX. FSX.
Alright, everybody, slowing it down to normal speed here. Coming through the clouds and just now see the city. So our landing speed is about 140. We're still having trouble here with the daggone. This plane just does not like to slow down. I don't know if we can see the airport or not. Still getting this stupid message. Gosh dang. Take that off. I can't really see it. The clouds are just blocking it. It's just on up ahead. Our landing speed is still around 143 or so. I'm gonna go ahead and and lower it, or I'm gonna try to land a little slower, even though we are still heavy because we're heavier than normal with the cargo and we still have a lot of fuel with us. But I'm still gonna try and land it a little slower, just because I think that's got to be one of our big problems. There's I believe that's our runway. I think there's one off to the left as well. But we're landing on the right. I can't even remember the runway. It's, let's see, 3 right. See, with our speed, it just keeps on creeping up, but I'm afraid if I do this too much, she's gonna start throttling up. Let's go ahead and put the flaps out to 1. I want to see if that drops. Not really, because I'm not sure of what speed she wants right now. Because remember, we were coming in pretty quick until the end. See, we're in a really delicate area right there with those flaps even at 1. I've got her set to go down to, I believe, 2400. Yeah, 2400 right there. I see a couple other airports in the area. I'm not sure we could land it at that one. I'm not sure how long the runway is. Auto brakes are at 2. Landing lights are on. Taxi lights on. See, the engines are spoiling up here. I believe there was ILS. I'm pretty sure there was ILS. But I want to go ahead and click off the auto throttles here in a minute. I think when we get over here towards our approach, because I just don't trust it. I'm afraid it's going to have us coming in hot. Starting to make a little turn here. We could have come out a little further. When I was making the thing, I didn't want to make us come out too far. See, this gave us bank angle on our first turn out when I started to speed it up. It is fragile, so you don't want to bank too much, but air hauler hasn't said anything. I don't know why the airplane would warn bank angle. Is this the one turning? Let's go ahead and start turning this, because it is going to be 033 on the runway. Mute my mic for a second. Alright. We need to get the gear down here in a second. I don't want to do that while we're turning, though. Looks like, man, we do. That's it, man. I thought we had a lot more. I'd like to be coming in straight from right here. Gear coming down. Let's see if we need to get our speed down. I don't want to hurt our flaps, so I'm going to go ahead and put that out.
Ladies and gentlemen, in preparation for landing, please return all seat backs and tray tables to their upright and stowed position. Ensure
All right.
all portable
Get rid of it, because I don't want it spoiling up.
Stow all carry-on items. Additionally, footrest and video monitors must be returned to their original position.
See, there she comes up with the speed. We are getting slow, obviously, but
2,500.
flaps going to 10. So yeah, I don't know if this thing has the daggone localizer or not. It did click it over to 033. You can see we're a little lower than the glide slope. And we're hitting 2,400, so we're gonna level out here. Glide slope has come down. I'm gonna go ahead and hit the approach hold. Looking good there, 170. I'm going to go ahead and lower that to 160. Flaps, 15.
Flight attendants, please be seated for arrival.
Pappy light looks like it shows us a little high. So I'm guessing that's the Pappy lights. $155. Flags can go out to, was it 17? I'm gonna go ahead and put them to 18.
Land 3.
Land 3, so everything is good there. Where our landing speed was 140, and I said I wanted to land slower than that. I'm gonna put it at 135. Of course, I'll kick the auto throttles off in here in just a second. I'm gonna go ahead and do it actually. Full flaps. Man, come on with this thing. This should be the end of it.
1,000.
Autopilot is off. Here comes the speed down. That's what we wanted. We're getting slightly low. A little bit of power coming in. A little bit more. We're still a little faster than I would like. Power coming back.
500.
Getting blown over a little bit. Slightly high.
400.
I'm trying to get that
300.
speed down, but
Approaching
a little
minimums.
difficult.
Minimums. 200.
I'm really surprised that the Pappy lights said that we're that high.
100.
I'm off the throttles.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
We're gonna smack a little hard. Yeah. Got on the reversers a little early right there too. You're pitched up more than I thought. Yeah, that was my fault. We actually got down to the runway a little bit better than we normally do, but I just was starting to pull it up at 10, and I didn't quite pull her up enough. Except for landing a little hard, I like the landing a little bit better than what we normally do, because normally we're just like touching down about right where we are right now. So, I mean, yeah, we hurt something, we broke it, but I think we're more on the right track now. We just got to slow down the speed of the landing. I think we'll do a lot better job.
For the next few minutes, so please remain seated.
I mean, we've flown this thing so many times, I shouldn't have taken that long to learn that, but...
At that time, please remember to check around your seating area, in the seat pockets, and overhead bins for all personal belongings that you brought on board. Please take care when opening the overhead bins, as the contents may have shifted during flight.
Alright, trying to stop here, trying to get my views lined up too. So we need to get our strobes off and our landing lights off. Let's go ahead and stop the recording, turn TCAS off, our flaps are retracted. Auto brake's coming off. And the other stuff we can deal with. APU, although I gotta say this thing black screens, because the E and B, it always black screens on the 787 at the end, so it doesn't really do me any good to start the APU. So I always have to restart FSX anyway. Plus, we can always use external power. That's usually what we've been doing. I'm not sure where to park her. I'm going to park her. I guess we can park her. Oh, there's somebody right there. That's pretty cool. Hopefully it lands better than that one we saw when we were about to take off when we were taxiing. Let's see if he bounces. I don't know. They always kind of land kind of hard and flat anyway. You know what? I think we're just going to go over to the gate. That gate right there in front of us. Because I don't know where the cargo area... And this is a stock airport, so FSX never did any cargo areas. In fact, that other runway, you can see where he was. That whole area is actually quite a ways over there. I'm guessing this one must be international? No, that's not the same plane I thought I was seeing. I don't like this, how there's that sharp turn right at the end. I don't know quite what the point of that is. Why wouldn't you just have them come straight in that way? I don't know. I am in the area. I wonder how off we are. Now see that? I thought we were way better than that. Daggone. Alright. Let's go ahead and set our brake. Oop, cut the fuel. We'll see how much damage we did. It was, by the way, this was the third highest paying flight available, so we did pretty good on that. Shut her down. Let's give her some external power here. External power is on. So let's go ahead and shut the APU off as well. Everything is shut down here. YouTube air hauler. So if we did 4% damage. That's pretty hard. I'm not sure how much it's going to cost, because I do believe we're at 100%. It's probably going to cost a pretty penny to do this. I can't remember how much this exactly paid. We'll check that out here in a second. Stop flat monitoring? Yes. Because we got paid over, I think it was 1.3, 1.4 million for this, I believe. Somewhere around there. It was 1.1. So let's see. What kind of, if I wanted to repair this. It just locked. Somebody else is probably landing or finishing up a job or something. Come on, air hauler. There you go. I don't know what was happening right there. Repair. 881,000. I'm not going to spend it. But at least, I guess even minus the fuel, we probably still made some money. Let's check this out. Bank loans. Take out a loan. Cancel. Air extra slow today. So yeah, 1.3, so 500, basically made 500,000 minus the fuel. So it's not a total loss. It's not very good, but it's not a total loss. I want to see if I can unload a couple of these real quick. Although it's going to take a little while, but I would like to see what our rating is now. That's the thing, air hauler's so slow. Whenever you do cache stuff, if you do anything after that, it gets extra slow. So that's awesome, because this is going to take a little bit. So I might just say screw it, because I really don't want to go through all this. If air hauler's going to take an hour to unload stuff. There's, what, 3 more? So let's just go ahead and look real quick. That doesn't matter anyway. Let's look over here. Summary. So we're up to 94.93 after that big dip right there. So it's coming back up. It should be at 100. We should always be at 100. Especially, we should never get dinged on my lane. I should be way better than that. But I don't know what's going to happen next. We're going to have someone fly this over because I'm not going to be able to fly for a little bit. Man, that would be awesome to do. There's no way I can do it because of the time. But we've got awesome scenery from San Francisco. What is it? FlightSim, I think, does it. Daggone, that would be really nice. But I can't get the person to fly down here and move it, and I can't move it right now. Just don't have time. So I don't know where we're going to have them put it. Maybe I'll have him fly a flight or two, try to get to one of our bases, because I won't fly for another 2 weeks. Well, maybe I will fly next week, because I should be back on Friday. So, yeah, I don't know. Anyhow, that's going to be it for this episode. I hope you all did enjoy it. I'll catch you guys on the next flight.
100, 50, 40.